welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with us about 6 tips on how to choose an. Our first tip is about considering your qualifications. You need to ask yourself a few questions. One of the questions you need to ask: have you met the minimum requirements for the program that you've already identified? Is it a basic training that you want to train? And we know under basic training we have from certificate level, diploma level, at bachelor's level. You need to ask yourself, am I qualified for the upgrading course that I want to undertake? Or am I qualified for the specialty in nursing training that I want to undertake? For the specialty training, one of the qualification would require you to be already a practicing registered nurse. So this is one of the first tip that you need to have whenever you're choosing to undertake a nursing program. The second one, you need to identify what are your passions and interests. What is it that makes you tick? What is it that excites you? What is it that even if you are woken up in the middle of the night, you can confidently and comfortably be able to undertake? So once you've identified your passion and your interest, then you are ready to go and choose the relevant nursing training. Number 3, very, very important, find out the cost of the training. Sometimes you may want to undertake a training program so much, but you're not able to meet the cost of training. So you need to find out this particular program that you're interested in. What is the total cost of the training for the entire program? Are there other hidden costs or hidden charges? Sometimes you find institutions put up training costs. Within those training costs, they have not factored in other hidden charges such as accommodation, meals, transport. Would you be required to pay nursing council indexing fees? Would you be required to pay a separate examination fee? Would you be required to pay clinical placement fee or clinical rotation fee? You also need to find out, when it comes to clinical placement and rotation, is the institution going to place you, or you're going to look for your own accommodation as an individual student? So these are costs that you may need to sit down, put them down, all the costs that you may want to, all the costs that you may incur for the program that you want to choose. Once you've put down every cost, then you make a decision and decide, are you able to meet that cost? If you're not able to meet that cost, how else are you going to source for funds? Are you going to look for donors? Are you going to apply for scholarships? Are you going to work extra hard and continue saving for that particular program and wait maybe for the next intake or for the next 1 year or for the next 6 months? Once you have identified what is the total cost of training, then it becomes very easy to make a decision, one, on the program that you're going to choose, and two, when you're going to make that application so that you're able to apply and are admitted in the training and the program of your choice. This is very important because you're going to avoid issues and causes of school dropout. So you've applied for a program, you've been admitted to a program, but halfway through the program you're unable to fit or to meet the costs that have been incurred. So to avoid all this, then it is important for you to sit down, find out all the possible costs that you're going to incur as you are selecting or you're choosing a particular program. Number 4, what is the duration of training? Sometimes you may not have all the time required for you to undertake the program, because you find in nursing training programs, some courses take 1 year, some take 2 years, other 3 years, as much as 5 years. Do you have that time to allocate it for you to be able to undertake the program? Because if you do not have the required time for training, then you may struggle within the process of your training, and that would interfere with the outcome, either in terms of performance, or you may drop out, or you may not be able to graduate and be licensed at the anticipated time because you didn't factor in time that particular course or program is going to undertake. Some of us, you may need to choose a program where you're already working, you have a family, or you have other commitments. Are you able to factor all these other commitments and the commitment that your course needs you to undertake? So this is one of the tip you need to consider. What is the duration of the program that you're interested in? What is the duration of the program or that you want to undertake? The fifth tip is, what are the teaching modalities that the institution is using to be able to for a student to undertake a particular course. You may realize some institutions offer courses as a full-time student, as a part-time student. There's what you call an e-learning method or a blended method. So which one fits your uh, commitments? Which one fits you as a particular student at that particular time? You may be already working and your employer may not be able to give you a study leave, so you cannot be able to choose a program that is being offered full time. You may be consider blended modality or a part-time method. But again, if it is a basic training program that is your first program in nursing, you may have no choice but to undertake a full-time program. So you may need to squeeze that time, put everything else aside. If nursing is what is in your heart and if nursing is what matters to you, then make a decision, select a program, and make an application. The last tip is, you have to make a decision. Sometimes you consider options for too long that you do not move. And not making a decision is a decision in itself. So once you factored in all the five mentioned factors, if you are able to tick all of them correct or tick a yes to all of them, then you need to make a decision. And the decision could be either to apply for the program now or to await for another 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. That is still a decision. So it is important for you to make all this consideration. At the end of the day, you need to make a decision. And that is also very important because most of the nursing training are not offered all the year round. Some of them have intakes maybe in March and April of every year. Others have intakes March, April, September, October of every year. Other institutions only have one intake in 1 year. So it is important for you to be considerate to yourself, sit down, think through if you've met all the requirements, what is it that is holding you back, and what can you do about it. Then finally make a decision. Thank you so much for listening. If you have further questions, feel free to ask. You can ask them or you can comment them, or you can reach out to me in the social media platforms, either Instagram or Facebook, and I will be happy to attend to your questions. Thank you.